Radical.
Welcome to Flea Market Stories, documenting one man's journey into the world of flea marketing. This is a very, very, very good Saturday. Sales-wise, this is probably one of the best Saturdays I have had recently. Maybe it's because Labor Day weekend, not sure. And, I was about 35 minutes late. I overslept a little bit, but it didn't really matter. Now, when I got there were different people to the left and right of me, different vendors. I'd never seen them before. And the one woman was way over to the left, almost in my spot. And it makes me think about that guy from Big Bang Theory pointing, "You're my spot. That's my spot." So, I nicely told her, hey, there might be someone to the left of me. And if they are, then that's going to kind of throw everyone's spot off. And she didn't mind, so she moved a little bit over to the right. Out of the gate, the first sale I had was 10 CDs. I was just shocked, I tell you. So there is a very big market for CDs at the flea market. So maybe I'm bulk acquiring the wrong things. I just bulk acquired some DVDs today. Maybe I should be looking at CDs, right? So Pearl Jam Vitality was one of them. They were really excited about that one. And they got 9 others. I don't know what they got. I think it was maybe Bruce Springsteen, some Who, a lot of the rock stuff. But yeah, I was very, very, very happy about that. Now, I had my table. The slight change I made was I put my table to the left, which was my dollar table, my doodad's table. Then I probably should actually. Tomorrow, I'll tell you what I'll do. Tomorrow, I'll show you the glory that is my new design. A lot to happen on this day, so I'll quickly try to get through this. There was a guy that came by, and he got an Xbox 360 controller. I promised him last week I'd have some. And boy, howdy, did I have some. I had 5. Actually, technically, I had 6. So whoever wanted them, I had a lot of Xbox 360 controllers. This would be the first design where I had 2 360s back-to-back. One was running GTA 4. One was running GTA 5. I briefly had one running Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Sometimes I make the choice depending on the demo mode, how appealing the demo mode there is. There was a lot of people that came by and played those systems. I don't think I sold that many games today, though. In fact, what was the game I sold? I forgot. It was a $15 game. Maybe it was Injustice for Xbox. Speaking of Injustice, I won't go into it, but, later on I'll explain my little situation I got because I promised to buy Injustice 2 tomorrow on the PlayStation 4, and I will not have that. I will not, sadly. And there's a local game store I went to, which is a whole story in itself. I got so many stories from today. So many freaking stories. It was a very eventful day, so I won't go ahead of myself. Other sales. Sold a toaster oven. It's a special that was saved from being thrown away at the dump. So I rescued that. And I let that go for about $10. I cleaned up the inside of it. Towards the end of the day, and I'm just going to be jumping all over the place, my apologies. Towards the end of the day, there was a really, really pretty girl that came by, and she got two flower books. And they were like older books, maybe like 80s and whatnot. And I shit you not, I was just saying to myself, man, these books are not going to sell. These books are not going to sell. Seems like there's a pattern whenever I start saying something, man, that shit ain't going to sell. Fate steps in and, that stuff starts selling. In fact, I would have had more sales if I would have brought more. And I told her, hey, I'll be back tomorrow. So all those books I have, and it's still from that, some of you remember the first big acquisition, the $20 table buy that I got maybe 5-6 months ago. I'm still making sales off of that. And they sold for $1 each, and I was just like, man. I was looking at her, and her body was like, whoa. And after that, I was like, Okay, cool. I sold $2. Yeah, I forget what her name was. I should probably remember her name. Yeah, sales and possible future trim potential. Let's see here. On the DVD front, didn't sell any DVDs, so the DVDs have gone freaking cold. Oh yeah, okay. I did sell, very notable. I did sell the Wii. So I sold Xbox 360 controller for $20. I sold a Wii for $20. Now this Wii was all scratched up to hell. It wasn't shown any love. All scratched up to hell. Also, it was missing the Wiimote and the AV out, but still had the power cord. And I sold it with Guitar Hero and Wii U Draw, and they were happy to get that for $20. Seemed like there was something else notable. Well, this will be a segue into another story, which is far more interesting than this actual the flea marketing story. Maybe I'll call it flea marketing side story because it happened outside the flea market. So I don't know actually what I'll do there. But it's a story worth actually telling that happened after the flea market. There was one guy, really happy fella. Maybe the happiest fella just generally that I've ever seen in my life. And he was going to come by, and I forget what the deal was. He was going to come by and bring me and show me a lot of the DVDs because I was going to buy some from him. He had a lot. And I said, you know what? I mean, I don't know if I'll buy them from you, but, I'll make some trades. I'll trade some games. Maybe, hey, buddy. Somebody almost fucking pulled out in front of me. And I said, if there's a lot, maybe I'll include a console. And I got so confused because he gave me an address. At first, he was going to come and bring the stuff. And then he was going to come, and then I was going to follow him back. And then he said, maybe I can, meet you at your house. And then he gave me it seemed kind of shady. It did. But I think he just really got confused on what was going to happen. And it was near 4 o'clock, near the end of the day. And I stuck in there till the end. And ironically, I actually got a couple sales towards the end of that day. I stuck in there, and he didn't show up. And I didn't know where the fuck he was. Winded up, we met somewhere. And it was I was like, okay, we're going to meet somewhere. It's not going to be in a shady area, whatnot. I just got, maybe it was wrong for me to get weird vibes. I'm thinking to myself, nobody can be this happy. Now, the big thing that was going on here was trying to figure out how I was going to meet this person and make a swap. I talked about making a swap for, it wasn't his DVD and movie collection, but it was somebody's collection that he had. I think they left it with him. And he said it was a lot, maybe hundreds. He said he had some really nice collections. I mean, nice movie collections, series and stuff. Some nice titles. And I was like, okay, how about I trade you some games? And this guy really, he seemed really legit on the level. But the whole day, I was texting him back and forth, and he was kind of confused on what the plan was. There was multiple different plans. I thought he was going to stop by there, and he had a truck, which was what confused me about all of this. He could have fit all that stuff in the truck and brought and showed me. I thought he had a small car, but he didn't. You ever met somebody just so out of sorts where you're just surprised that they even made it through life? Really friendly guy, really nice guy, but so out of sorts. Almost like someone that you have to guide around. But man, he gave me an address, and first he said it was about 3 minutes away. Then I looked it up, and it was 17, 18 minutes away. And then I said, okay, I'll meet you there. But then he said, okay, well, I gotta take my family or whatever, put him up in a hotel. So he had that going on. So he had 2 different addresses, 2 different places he was going to be. And then I said, okay, go meet me at a local, I guess, what is maybe a grocery store or something. Maybe there and near an ATM. And then he went at one, but it wasn't the right one. So I had to wait for him to come to another one. And then he did. It makes my head hurt thinking about it. But what should have been very simple wound up being very, very, very complicated. And I'll leave it there because there is a long story, a long, detailed, interesting story that I will share. And maybe it'll be a flea market side story, since it's technically involves somebody, a customer from the flea market.